Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I just wanted to share what I did in my quiet time slash Bible study because I thought it might be encouraging. So I have my notes on my little tablet. It's a tablet, right? Chromebook, whatever. Anyway, I have my notes here, so I will just kind of walk through it. The first thing that I did, first of all, I was very tired this morning and I'm still tired, but I listened to the Bible on the YouVersion Bible app. So, yeah, I just continued with my plan, but I listened to it in bed. And then I made some comments on what stood out to me within the Bible app. So basically, if you use the YouVersion Bible app and you highlight stuff, there's an option to like make comments on it. So I just like highlighted what stood out to me and then made comments on that. Um, the first comment that I made was like what I what I took from it, what God was speaking to me, and then I also had some questions. So I put both of those things in there. And what I wanted to know, if you've seen some of my other Bible related videos, then you'll know that I'm reading through the book of Genesis right now with the goal of reading through the entire Bible. And I'm following these I'm following the people in the Bible, but specifically like the locations and stuff that they're going to, and kind of looking at a little bit of the history and cultural aspect of the areas that they're in. It's not really a deep dive, but yeah, I'm just taking my time with it and being more intentional. So, yeah, I had two different questions regarding this chapter. And one of the things that I wanted to know, which if you have an answer for this question, I would love to hear it because I still don't have a full answer, even though I did a little bit of research, which I'll talk about. But the question that I had, so the section that I'm in is like towards the end of Genesis, there is this famine that's going on in Egypt, if you know. So Jacob had, all of these children, right? And one of them was Joseph, and he favorited Joseph out of all of the other children. Well, those children ended up hating Joseph because of that, and they basically sold him into slavery. So now in this section, we're in Egypt, where Joseph has been sold as a slave, and we see that God is taking care of him and elevating him. At this point, he's interpreted some dreams that Pharaoh was troubled about, which elevated him even further. And so now Egypt has had like 7 years of abundance where their crops have been growing abundantly and they're able to like save that and prepare for this famine that they know is coming. So moving forward, there's 7 years of famine now. That's where I'm at. And I wanted to know if this famine like also reached Mesopotamia because I'll just try to show it here. But my trusty map. So this area is like Mesopotamia area, and then over here is like the land of Canaan, which is the land that God promised them, and then you see like over here is kind of Egypt. So yeah, I was just wondering like if the famine also hit Mesopotamia because from what I remember, like Mesopotamia was a really fertile land. So yeah, it just piqued my curiosity. So I started doing a little bit of research. I try to look for when I'm looking at websites, I look for ones that say like .org or .edu because those sources are supposed to be more credible. Just something that I learned in school that I'm now using for my Bible studies. I will link the source that I looked at down below, but I kind of just skimmed through it to try to get an understanding. So I didn't really come to like a definite answer, but I used answers in Genesis. Again, I'll link that below. And then I also went back to this video. I mentioned it in my What's in My Bible Basket video. There is this video that a YouTuber, his name is To Be Like Christ, did on ancient civilizations, which is where I got um, these PDFs. I'll show it. So it looks like this, and it's just showing you like the history during these times in the Old Testament, and then these are like the events in the Bible. And so he was kind of talking about how they like link up. So I went back to that YouTube video and I actually just posted a comment with that same question that I had. I think that can be a really helpful tip. You know, sometimes you're reading through the Bible and you don't understand something. And while there are like other resources out there, and definitely like rereading the passage can help, it can also be really helpful to just hear from other people, specifically Christians, other Christians who may have studied that material or have a deeper understanding of the passage than you. So that's what I did. And then I reread um, like just a section of that chapter. I reread it in a different translation. I think it was the Amplified Bible. And I don't know too much about that translation, but they kind of give like, how do I explain it? They kind of describe like what certain words mean, um, you know, when you're reading it. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'll try to pop it up on the screen or something. But yeah, I went ahead and reread that, and then I went back and I looked at my map just to kind of get an idea. The reason I did that is because when I looked at it in the Amplified Bible, it said that this famine, I think it said like something along the lines of the famine being in Egypt and the surrounding areas. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what are the surrounding areas? On the map that I have, it doesn't really look like there's like that many surrounding areas except for Canaan. And I know that the famine hits Canaan because I have, you know, read through like Genesis before. But I was still wondering, like, okay, what about Mesopotamia, which is over here? Um, Afterwards, I wrote down in my little notebook what my questions were, and that was basically my Bible study. So my questions did not get immediately answered, but I feel like the camera's shaking. Hold on. Yeah, my questions didn't get immediately answered, but it's something that as I continue reading, I can still look over it. So it doesn't have to be like a 1 day thing, but that's kind of what my time looked like. And I wanted to say that most of this was done from my bed. So, like, the research and stuff that I was doing, I was just looking up that information on my phone. Eventually, I got up because, you know, I have to get up. Um, and I had to grab my notebook and everything and write that stuff down. I mean, I didn't have to, but I want to remember it. So eventually I got up, but I just wanted to make that point. Like, most of that quiet time was spent in bed, and also this is not my everyday routine. I try to read through this Bible plan every day, but I don't do it every day. Sometimes I just listen to something else, or sometimes I don't like do it in the morning. You know, there's a lot of flexibility. So, yeah, I just wanted to point that out because it can seem like, you know, oh, someone's doing like um, all this stuff in their quiet time, but you know, every day looks different. So, anyway, I hope that that encouraged you guys. I just wanted to share that, and I will talk to you in my next video.